Hi, Clark Sharks. This is Mrs. Laughlin. I'm so excited to see you, and I'm even more excited to read a story with you today. I'm going to read to you this story called Catch That Cookie. It's by Hallie Duran, pictures by David Small, and take a look at that cookie. It's a gingerbread man. Many of you have read stories about how gingerbread men like to go on a run. I bet that's what this book is about too. Catch that cookie. Let's find out. It was December, and Marshall's class had heard stories about runaway gingerbread men all week long. Marshall didn't believe a word of it. They can't run for real, he told everybody. No way. Hope you're right, Mrs. Gray said, because we're baking ours today. Marshall gave a nod. He knew he was right. So I'm learning Marshall is skeptical about these cookies. That afternoon, Marshall and his friends poured in the flour, sugar, and some dark, sticky stuff. I bet that's molasses. That's molasses, Marshall told them. Marshall was the mixer, and even when his arms got tired, he kept going with the dough. He couldn't wait to get his cookie. Look at him mixing away. Kudos, Marsh, said Mrs. Gray. You rocked that dough. Marshall gave a nod. He knew he had rocked it. I'm also learning Marshall's pretty confident. Can you tell too? Marshall put some good stuff on his gingerbread man, a silver ball belt and 6 eyes. He really liked raisins. Those 6 eyes. His cookie was looking tasty. Mrs. Gray double-checked the oven door once the gingerbread men were safely inside. Locked, she said. Do you think she said locked because she's afraid the gingerbread men are going to run away? Maybe so. When the timer finally went off, Mrs. Gray said to Marshall, "Fearless leader, take us to the kitchen." But when they looked in the oven, there was nothing inside. What? They ran away. Everybody yelled, "Let's get them." Marshall didn't buy it. I wonder where Marshall thinks they went. Do you think they ran away? They left us a clue, said Mrs. Gray. If you can find us, we'll be your snack. But if you can't, we're never coming back. We ran from the oven. We were bored and hot, but now we're hiding in a big black. Henry jumped up. Pot, the big black pot. Inside was another note. Too bad you didn't catch us because we taste like candy. Now we're on vacation on a beach that's. Noticing there's rhymes. What do you think the next word's going to be? Because we taste like candy. Now we're on vacation on a beach that's sandy, everybody yelled. Is that what you were thinking too? The sand table. They all started running. Everybody but Marshall. He turned that pot over and ran his hands around the inside. He felt something soft and small. A raisin. Marshall put it right in his pocket. Look at the look on his face. He's trying to figure this out. At the sand table, Mrs. Gray read the next note. Whoa, she said, bad handwriting. You didn't find us this time, and a hee-hee-ho. You thought we might be slow because we're only made of dough. We're very fast cookies, and we also like to brag. See if you can find us. We'll be playing. What do you think? What rhymes with brag? Tag, said Avery. They can't run, said Marshall. Can so, said Avery. Let's go, said Mrs. Gray. Everybody ran to the gym. Well, everybody but Marshall. Can I see that clue, he asked. The writing was bad. No way was it Mrs. Gray's. So if Mrs. Gray isn't leaving the clues, who is? The next clue is on the bleachers. We've had a great time and we haven't made a mess. We're very impressed that you're trying your best. If you don't find us this time, the game's all done. You will have lost and the G-men will have won. Did you get that? Gingerbread men, G-men. That's not a clue, said Henry. They were stuck. They were hungry and they wanted to win. Everybody huddled. what they do. What would you do? Marshall sat down, considering the evidence, the raisin in his pocket and the bad handwriting. What if the G-men could run? That's when he saw the silver ball on the gym floor. There was only one place that could have come from. Then he saw the footprints. Look at all those tiny footprints. I'm wondering if maybe Marshall is changing his mind. I'm wondering if maybe he's looking at this evidence and thinking, maybe he was wrong. There were gingerbread footprints, hundreds of them. Look at them all around the gym. Everywhere. Marshall didn't make a sound. Those guys played hard, he thought. They've got to be tired. That was it. They're taking a nap, Marshall hollered. Everyone searched in the bleachers and under the mats. No luck. Had the G-men won? If I needed a nap, thought Marshall, I'd go to... Marshall led the way this time. Look at Marshall leading the way. I think Marshall believes in the gingerbread men now. And there were the little gingerbread men, sound asleep in the doll bed. Marshall's guy was right there in the middle, minus an eye and a ball from his belt. He must have been the ringleader. Everyone cheered. They had caught the G-men. Marshall gave his cookie back his eye. You really can run, he said. Good sleuthing, said Mrs. Gray. Marshall gave a nod. He knew he had good sleuthing, whatever that was. Do you know what sleuthing means? Like being a detective, good detective work. When Marshall's dad came to pick him up, Marshall kept his G-man close. Do you think he's keeping him close because he's worried he'll run? Dad, Marshall said once they were in the car. Yeah, bud? Lock the doors. Why is that? Said his dad. So my cookie can't get out, said Marshall. They can run for real, you know. His dad gave a nod. He knew they could run. Look what his dad's seen in the rearview mirror. Everybody's gingerbread men all over the parking lot. How silly. Marshall really changed his mind in this story, didn't he? He didn't believe in those gingerbread really running, and now look at the end. He's a believer, and so's his dad. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. Have a great rest of your break. See you soon. Bye.